5:30, we are following breaking news from our area's biggest school district, the Charlotte-Mecklenburg School Board of Education voting to fire Superintendent Earnest Winston effective immediately. Thank you for joining us. I'm Fred Shropshire.
And I'm Vanessa Rufus. This decision coming after a tough few years for the district and superintendent. Winston taking the helm of one of the largest school districts in the country back in 2019. And then after just a few months on the job, the pandemic and the challenge of moving nearly 150,000 students to virtual learning. Last summer, we saw increasing pressure to address sexual assault reports at both Myers Park and Hawthorne Academy. And then as students transitioned back to class, a spike in violence with dozens of guns and knives discovered across district high schools. In an attempt to keep students safe, that attempt became its own concern. The district ordering clear backpacks to curb weapons, but couldn't hand them out because the bags had labels warning of cancer-causing materials.
Winston's contract was just extended last year, giving him a raise from $280,000 a year to $288,000 a year. WCNC Charlotte's Jesse Pierre joins us live from the Government Center. Jesse, Winston isn't walking away empty-handed here.
No, not at all. He'll be paid for the next 24 months, just over $500,000 in total. Now, the big question today was whether he was going to resign or be fired, because that was going to make a huge difference on his payout.
After careful deliberation, this board is meeting today to terminate Superintendent Earnest Winston's contract, exercising the contract's termination for convenience clause.
And I expect
Superintendent Earnest Winston's contract coming to an end effective immediately, with 7 votes for and 2 votes against the motion.
Emphasize the term convenience, a legal term, because no cause another legal term could be established. Change in leadership sets us back.
CMS families.
Winston's contract was amended last year. If he resigned, then he would be paid his salary through his last day of work. But because he was terminated, the board will have to pay him for the next 2 years.
My motion authorizes severance payments of $24,033.33 per month for a period of 24 months in accordance to the North Carolina General Statute.
Over $500,000. And under the contract, Winston cannot appeal the board's decision.
I fully believe that we as a board have no right to require anything other than the best a person has to offer. If that is insufficient, then that is a decision that we have to make. But Earnest gave us his best, and I don't believe this decision serves him in his best interest.
Now, while Winston is getting his severance pay for the next 2 years, the board has hired an acting superintendent to work the rest of the week. And after that, there'll be an interim superintendent who is going to come in until they find a permanent person to take on the role. Live outside of the Government Center, Jesse Pierre, WCNC Charlotte.
Jesse, thank you for that. And Winston was not at the meeting where that decision was made to end his time as superintendent. But shortly after, he released a statement from his personal email saying in part, "Leading an organization responsible for educating children through the pandemic has been the ultimate challenge and one from which I have never fled."